City of Joplin announces the expiration date of its mask ordinance.
Some of the country's most profitable companies, including McDonald's, are facing questions about what they pay employees. I'm Michael George with why lawmakers say some companies are stiffing workers while taking taxpayer money.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The City of Joplin's mask ordinance will expire at the end of the month. This is KOAM News at 5. Joplin Mayor Ryan Stanley made the announcement today. The ordinance was established last November and will expire this Sunday, February 28th. The city reminds people that businesses can still set their own mask policies. And that brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instapoll. Today's question is, will you continue to wear a mask? You can vote at KOAMNewsNow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live. We're going to be checking in on them later in this newscast. Jasper County Health Department reports 5 new coronavirus-related deaths. Officials say the patients were 3 men, 1 in his 50s and 2 in their 70s, also 2 women in their 70s. These new deaths raise the county's total to 143. Joplin police this morning responded to a 911 call of an active shooter situation at the North Park Mall, but say no threats ended up being found. When officers arrived, they started evacuating the mall as they searched for any threats. Officials say they didn't find any evidence of any active threat to the mall. JPD is still investigating the actual 911 call. Now that the temperatures are increasing, the price for natural gas and electricity has gone back to normal, and some southeast Kansas cities are being left with massive bills. One of them is Altamont. This is a follow-up to a story we brought you last week when the city was asking residents to conserve natural gas because the price per unit had jumped by 100 times. The city recently received an estimate for their bill, and it totals $1 million for just February. $800,000 of that is for natural gas.
That would drain that pretty much all of our funds if we did something along those lines. Yeah, our entire annual budget for our gas fund alone is like $506,000. So that's $300,000 more than what we normally spend in the entire year.
The Altamont City Council is going to discuss a plan to pay that without having a big impact on residents at a meeting tonight. So we're going to hear more about how this issue is impacting other cities and what's being done at the state, also federal levels. An audit of unemployment benefits paid out by the state of Kansas finds the state may have paid out $600 million in bogus claims last year. The state's Department of Labor on Tuesday estimated the fraudulent claims totaled $290 million. But today, the legislature's auditing division claimed it was more than double that, and that 1 in 4 unemployment claims paid last year could have been fraudulent. Kansas Labor Department claims the audit is, quote, rife with factual errors. 200 new jobs are coming to Miami, with more expected in the future. Communication Solutions, a Springfield-based call center service, is setting up a location in Miami. The company says it's going to bring 200 full-time jobs initially and plans to add 250 more over the next 5 years.
Really, we're looking for anybody who needs a good job. We have paid training, and really anybody who wants to learn and work, we can teach you how to do it.
City of Miami expects more than $3.5 million to be made from these jobs. The new location is going to be at the Market Square Shopping Center. Mr. Doug Eddy joining us now with the first look at the forecast. It is chilly out there.
Yeah, it is. It's cooler than what we have seen over the past couple days, but still, in respect to what we had over the past couple weeks, it's pretty nice. We do have a lot of clouds across the region, and even a few showers out there. Most of these are not reaching the ground, but we could get a little bit of drizzle or a few random showers working in here later on tonight. You can see the wave across the southern parts of the plains. Most of that rain is going to stay south of us, but I do think we'll get a few random showers up here later on tonight, especially in our southern counties. Here's 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see a few random showers, mainly in our southern counties, and then all these are going to push off toward the east by the time we head into the morning hours for us tomorrow. Temperatures not terrible, mid to upper 40s to near 50 degrees, but it's kind of windy out there. We have this northeasterly wind at about 10 to 15, so it makes it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. We'll drop back through the 40s, 30s, eventually into the mid-30s for overnight lows tonight. Of course, we're going to look into the weekend here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. Lawmakers argued about the thorny problem of how workers are paid in this country, in particular why corporate CEOs can take home millions of dollars while their employees struggle to pay the rent even. Michael George reports on today's hearing of the Senate Budget Committee.
Nobody works.
Cynthia Murray told lawmakers she's worked at Walmart for more than 20 years and still earns less than $15 an hour.
Walmart paychecks simply don't cover rent, bills, and groceries. So working people sit there hungry.
Arguing for a higher minimum wage, Senator Bernie Sanders said some corporate giants are essentially subsidized by taxpayers. The CEOs earn millions, while their employees turn to public assistance when their paychecks aren't enough.
They are forced to rely on food stamps to feed their children, paid for by the U.S. taxpayer. They are forced to go into public housing to put a roof over their heads.
Republican Lindsey Graham said that's a topic worth discussing, but not during the pandemic, when many businesses are struggling to survive.
The construct you set up about corporate America versus everybody else, we'll have decades to talk about that.
Walmart's CEO declined to appear, as did the chief executive of McDonald's, where Terrence Wise earns less than $15 an hour.
I work for McDonald's, the second largest corporation in America, and still rely on food stamps and Medicaid.
This New Yorker says there's something wrong with that equation.
If they're needing government assistance, chances are they're not getting paid enough for their basic expenses. It's sad.
One CEO who did appear at the hearing was Costco's Greg Jelinek, who raised workers' minimum wage to $15 an hour 2 years ago.
It helps us in the long run by minimizing turnover, maximizing employee productivity, commitment, and loyalty.
Jelinek announced Costco's minimum wage is going up to $16 next week, saying it makes sense for both his business and his workers. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Now, Walmart did say last week it's raising wages to $15 an hour for about half of its workers, though for others, the starting wage is going to be as low as $11. A long-awaited U.S. intelligence report on the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi is expected to be released soon. The declassified summary is going to reportedly single out Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for the 2018 killing of the Washington Post contributor in Turkey. In 2018, the CIA addressed that not only did the Crown Prince know about the killing, he ordered it. President Biden said he's read the report and will be talking to the Saudi king soon. Still ahead, opting for a smaller ceremony.
Hotels are turning wedding venues into elopement destinations. I'm Naomi Ruckham with why some couples are choosing to go small and save big.
And next in Health Watch, the Biden administration celebrating more than 50 million COVID-19 vaccines being delivered. New research shows people infected with COVID-19 appear to be well protected against being reinfected for at least a few months. The National Cancer Institute study looked at antibody test results for more than 3 million people who had COVID from January through August. This afternoon, Biden administration is celebrating surpassing the halfway mark towards its ambitious vaccination goals. Reporter Natalie Brand is at the White House with more.
President Biden and Vice President Harris are marking more than 50 million COVID vaccine shots delivered, more than halfway to the goal of 100 million shots in their first 100 days.
This administration will follow the science to deliver more breakthroughs.
First day that I got the shot, I felt fine. The next day, I realized I needed to take it a little slow. And then the day after, it was like nothing ever happened, but I knew I was vaccinated.
Earlier, the vice president spoke about her experience with the vaccine at a grocery store pharmacy, as she and health experts are stepping up efforts to speak to those who may be hesitant about receiving the shot.
As we've been talking about reopening and getting back to normal or better than normal, that we recognize how critical vaccination is to that process.
The president's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package gets its first real test Friday with a vote scheduled in the House, but their version is expected to include a $15 minimum wage provision, which could hit a snag in the Senate.
We must pass a minimum wage bill.
The parliamentarian is expected to rule soon on whether the provision can be included in the Senate version of the bill through budget reconciliation.
The correct ruling would be to say that the budget process cannot be used to pass substantive legislation.
This afternoon, the president will address a virtual meeting of the National Governors Association focusing on pandemic response and the economic recovery. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
According to the latest CDC data, less than 10% of the total U.S. population have received both doses of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. FDA is expected to vote as soon as this weekend on whether to authorize Johnson & Johnson's one-dose vaccine under emergency use. Well, people who suffer with depression and anxiety may develop Alzheimer's disease at a younger age. The research from the American Academy of Neurology meeting shows if patients develop Alzheimer's, those with depression may start having symptoms 2 years earlier than those without depression. For those with anxiety, it could be 3 years earlier. And there's more research that allergy seasons last longer and start earlier because of climate change. German researchers looked at pollen monitoring stations to see how pollen travels, and they found some species of pollen have moved the start of their season up to 2 days a year over 30 years. Doug is up next with his complete forecast a little bit later. The Federal Labor Department releases its latest weekly unemployment report.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a colder day for us today, but still not a bad day. Temperatures upper 40s to near 50 degrees as we worked through the afternoon hours. We have had a lot of mid and upper level clouds, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the evening into the overnight hours for us tonight. We could even see a little bit of drizzle or a few showers late tonight, and then even a few showers trying to pop back in late tomorrow. Much warmer by Saturday, and then cooler with a few showers once again by the time Sunday rolls around. But you can see a lot of clouds looking off toward the south and to the east from the station. 49 northeasterly winds that are at about 10. Humidity is fairly low at 36%. 46 in Nevada, 48 in Parsons, 50 in Miami. We have 49 in Neosho. So most of us upper 40s to near 50 degrees. But we do have this northeasterly wind all day long, so kind of breezy. We're getting gusts in that kind of 15 to 20 mile per hour range, and it's going to stay kind of breezy throughout the evening as we drop back through the 40s, and then we'll bottom out into the mid 30s later on tonight. We do have actually a few showers out there right now. It's just evaporating before it even makes it to the ground, but rain that is making it to the ground is down to our south, Oklahoma, parts of Texas, moving into Arkansas, and as this kind of clips us late tonight, we could see a few random showers with this weak little wave that is going to rotate through over the next 24 hours. Behind it, back to the west, we have another wave that will start to affect us by late Saturday and then also heading into Sunday. So let's go ahead and break it down for us tonight. You can see the clouds sticking around and some random scattered showers, mainly our southern counties, Oklahoma, southwestern Missouri, along and south of Interstate 44. Into tomorrow morning, any showers that do develop will push east by the time we work through the morning hours. Here's the afternoon. I do think we'll see some additional showers that will try to pop up during the afternoon. Again, they're going to be very light and scattered. 34 to start, 47 by noon, high temp right around 52, so very similar to what we have seen today. Any showers or clouds will start to break up tomorrow night. We'll start the day on Saturday with at least partly sunny skies, and then clouds will start to increase by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. But Saturday is going to be great. We're going to go into the mid 60s for afternoon highs, and then some showers start to spread in again. Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then another little wave will try to hit us late in the day on Sunday. So we have all these weak little systems that kind of give us a glancing blow with just a few random showers. This system will be gone. Monday looks fine, and then another weak little system will try to roll in by Tuesday. Then we'll give us some clouds and maybe a random shower or two, and that is just about it. We'll get a stronger storm system late next week, by next Thursday into Friday, that will give us much better chances for widespread rain. So a few showers late tonight, 52 tomorrow, 65 Saturday. Some showers Saturday night and then again Sunday afternoon. Monday looks good. Tuesday, a few random showers. Then 61 on Wednesday, 62 on Thursday with better chances for rain by Thursday and Friday of next week.
Trying to keep myself from getting spoiled, Doug. I keep telling myself, it's just going down to 38 degrees, that's it. Nothing more than that.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No.
I mean, we're almost into March.
Yeah, it's true. All right, Doug, thanks so much. Coming up, more couples are opting for smaller weddings to save money. But first, we pause to honor a local veteran. Kenneth Greenlee served in the U.S. Army from 1965 to 69. The Hawkerville, Oklahoma native was stationed in Germany, also Korea, earned a Purple Heart. And we are proud to thank Sergeant Kenneth Greenlee. He's tonight's 4-State hero. To learn more about all of our heroes, or if you'd like to submit a hero of your own anytime, just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Labor Department is in focus today, and the government is reporting that 730,000 people filed for unemployment benefits last week. Although it's still high, it was better than expected and down from the prior week. The drop comes amid loosening restrictions after lower COVID-19 infection rates. Moderna is working on a new plan to fight against the South African strain of the coronavirus. The company says it has shipped dozens of a tweaked formulation to the National Institutes of Health and is ready to start testing. The latest vaccine candidate would be tested on humans to see if it could be used as a booster shot against the South African mutation of the virus. Well, engaged couples are learning that they can still have their dream wedding during the pandemic, but on a smaller scale. The perk, they could save tens of thousands of dollars by eloping or having what's called a micro wedding. Reporter Naomi Warkram explains how the trend is helping brides and grooms along with the struggling industry.
After a 2-year engagement, Alyssa Tabbitt-Smith and her new husband Freddie decided, pandemic or not, it was time to seal the deal.
The one thing that clicked crazy enough during this crazy pandemic, it was the elopement, that it felt so right. So we're just so happy.
Freddie, you may kiss your beautiful bride.
The couple held their non-traditional nuptials at the Four Seasons Orlando on New Year's Eve. Just the bride, the groom, and their dog, plus family and friends watching online.
We're just so grateful you guys are here with us.
The resort's elopement package included nearly everything for a fraction of the price.
If we would have had our original wedding compared to the elopement, I think we saved around 20 grand. So that is huge.
For hotels and wedding venues, offering discounted packages gives them the chance to use and sell space that would otherwise be empty. Hotels like the Pierre in New York City say smaller doesn't necessarily mean settling.
Most around 12 to 20-ish people, but they've been quite beautiful and I think even more romantic than a large wedding.
Industry experts say small weddings may still appeal to couples even after the pandemic.
I do believe that people will continue to march through this trend and that it will become more of a mainstay.
It was unique. It wasn't our first choice, but it was beautiful.
Though Alyssa and Freddie missed having family there in person, they still consider it a dream wedding. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
As many states begin to loosen those restrictions around crowd sizes, larger scale weddings may return to many venues in the near future. Lyft is letting some people book rides with a phone call. The company says is perfect for seniors and others without access to the Lyft app. Lyft says people can still call from a phone with texting capabilities. Final check of the forecast next. CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear more from Southeast Kansas communities on their utility costs after last week's deep freeze. Plus, we'll hear from a Kansas legislator on today's audit of fraudulent unemployment claims in the state. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then, of course, KOAM News at 6. Taking another look at our KOAM News Now Insta poll question for today, we asked you, will you continue to wear a mask? So far, 62% of you say yes, I will. 38% of you say no, I won't. You still have time to vote at KOAMNewsNow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Jacket weather again, but not too bad. Doug Hetty.
Yeah, it's going to be a chilly night. We'll dip back into the mid-30s later on tonight. Could get a random shower, a little bit of drizzle late tonight, and then again tomorrow afternoon. High temp at 52. Saturday looks fantastic, 65, but we get some rain sneaking in by Saturday night and Sunday.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then.